Welcome to Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. Joyous conversations about what the afterlife evidence and modern science combine to tell us is true about our one reality. You have nothing to fear. You are eternal and you are perfectly loved. Knowing the truth changes everything. Now, here's Roberta.
Welcome to Seek Reality. I'm Roberta Grimes, and I'm so happy you're with us today. The heyday of communication with people that we used to think were dead was around the turn of the 20th century, and for about 20 years after that. And it's not hard to understand why. It was back in the latter part of the 19th century, back before electric lighting, that people would amuse themselves in the evenings by playing with things like sitting in the dark with trance mediums and doing things like table tipping. Developing really good trance mediums took long hours of sitting in dark seance circles night after night after night. And some 60 or 70 years later, I came along and found the books that researchers had written about those physical mediums in dusty old used bookstores. And it was all those old books that reported the amazing results of what those deep trance mediums had been up to and had achieved that first convinced me that the afterlife had to be real. And now, more than a century later, our wonderful, wonderful, beautiful friend, Dr. R. Craig Hogan, and some of his friends have been seeking to duplicate some of the work of those late 19th century and early 20th century physical mediumship pioneers. And we've been following the work of what I think is the most interesting of them all. For close to 15 years, Craig Hogan and his friends have been sitting in a weekly physical mediumship development circle that has actually been achieving some amazing and really remarkable results. Rob Blackburn is with us today for the fourth time. Rob is developing physical media, believe it or not, in the 21st century. He's turned out to be a remarkably gifted trance medium. And Craig tells me that Rob's dedication to the process has been little short of extraordinary. I've been hearing from Craig some of the truly amazing developments that have happened of late in their physical mediumship development circle. And the beings who are not in bodies, these circles, by the way, the leaders of these circles are not in bodies. This is amazing. They call their circle the Circle of the Masters of Light. And wow, I can't wait to hear what Rob has been up to. So Rob Blackburn, welcome. I'm so happy you're with us today.
I'm really honored to be back on Seek Reality. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about the circle, Roberta.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what you've been up to. First, because some people have not heard you, even though you've been here with us before, could you tell us a little bit about what is a development circle and what's the process?
Well, a development circle, we've gone the traditional route. You know, they take many different forms. There's mental mediumship development circles. And this is a physical mediumship development circle beginning back in 2007 or thereabouts. It was on Craig's invitation, a group of people. We all got together to sit. We used traditional methods. We would sit in the dark. We would turn up the music loud. And we would sing to the music to raise the vibration and see what would happen, see what kind of physical phenomena might take place. And it's gone through many different iterations over the years. But for the last 7 or 8 years, we've had a core group of sitters and we've made a lot of progress. So it really demonstrates dedication and devotion to the development circle, which is absolutely necessary. You need to sit once a week, at least once a week, and under the right conditions, showing that devotion and dedication, there will be real progress. It seems like there will be on the other side, if everything is working out the way it's supposed to, you sort of get, I guess, what you would call patrons on the other side. They will guide that circle. They will make themselves manifest through various means and help to lead the circle in its development as they would like, and their inner workings are very mysterious. And we've gotten some insight as to what this particular team is all about. But, this is one team of many, many teams working with people throughout the world and, of course, throughout the ages. They kind of coalesce their direction and their motives around a group of people that are willing to work with them and then develop them, which is actually really a kind of a core philosophy that Craig has talked about for many years, and others have as well, that if you, sit devoted, give the time, and you are pure of heart in a sense, you are opening up yourself, your whole self to this development. And there's a lot of trust in there. There's a lot of trust. And they will work with you. And of course, you need to have discernment, and you learn as you move along. So these development circles, these intimate groups of close people that learn to love and trust each other in the circle will work with these teams. These teams will work with you and will move you in directions that are just really just beyond our normal understanding of reality and, what we were taught in sort of mainstream thinking, mainstream science. We're taught, reductionist kind of thinking, non-spiritual thinking. And they turn that whole thing upside down. So they reveal their mysteries as you move forward, and you have to have patience. They won't.
You really do have to have patience.
Yeah.
You started this 15 years ago. All right, let's set the scene. What kind of music?
Well, music. Oh, that's so funny. So if you talk to development circles, physical development circles, the music is, and I don't know how many really there are, but music is a funny thing because people get bored with the music. They get irritated with the same music again and again and again. But a couple things about the music. So our team, we went through many different playlists, and the music should be traditionally uplifting. If you think back in the 19th century, they would sing hymns, they would sing songs they picked up in church, they would sing common songs, fun songs, maybe even songs they would sing drinking songs, or whatever. But they would sing these songs. And
those are marches, that kind of thing.
Yeah, right. They would sing these things, and then it was really the whole point was to bring up the vibration and bring harmony amongst the group. It also serves as a distraction for the mind, like the monkey mind. So if you are sitting there and singing, your mind is less apt to sort of drift off somewhere else. And it kind of focuses the group. But our group we learned that our team preferred a kind of music, which turned out to be kind of a rhythm and blues based kind of music. So they really liked, for whatever reason. And I don't think it's because they liked the music per se. It was more about the timing and the sonic quality of it, the vibratory quality of it, maybe. But they preferred like ZZ Top. They preferred that kind of, sort of a rhythm and blues, heavy guitar, but not heavy metal or anything, but like a heavier guitar, drums, that kind of music. And they use that. And then of course they use the music, the playlist, to time what they're going to do. So the music, as it turns out, is a means by which they can help time themselves in their experiments. So they run these experiments with us, and they use the music as a measure for the time in which those experiments take place. So the music
is dark in this room. The seance room is dark.
Well, now we were told to turn the red light on. So for the last,
but the beginning, for a long time.
Oh, for sure, the beginning, yeah, absolutely. In the beginning, it was dark. It has to be pitch dark because we went the traditional route for sure.
Okay, but now the red. You've been told you can have the red light on now, which is unusual, which is progress for you.
I think so, yeah. So it seems in red light, it's a form of light that's not intrusive to the energetic or ectoplasmic forms that they create. And so, of course, you can see in the red light. Our red light is pretty bright. It goes up as high as it can go for the red light that's in the room. And like I said, we were given direction to do that. and validation. You know, it wasn't just someone said, "Oh yeah, let's just do that." It was because we were given very specific direction to do it, and so we did.
So they're really running the show. You guys are not running the show. The people not in bodies are the ones who are running it.
They are. Yeah, they really are. They're running the show. And it gives us a lot of confidence, right? So before we had Vicky, we still have Vicky. Vicky is the oracle. She's the one that they originally would send messages through. She's a very powerful mental medium. And so they would use her to send simple messages that then the table or some other physical phenomena would take place in the room to validate what she said. So she would say something like, the team wishes us, or happy to see us, and would send her a simple message of like, a group of people holding hands, or some kind of metaphorical image of unity, right? 5 hearts intertwined, or something along those lines. And then we would have table wrapping or movement in the room to validate her message. So it wasn't as if there was a mental medium telling us what was going on and we just sort of believed it blindly. There was always some kind of validation that went along with the messages. But now,
when you say table wrapping, that the table would a leg would lift and make a sound.
Well, the phenomena kind of worked like this. We would have knocks in the room, on the backs of the chairs, underneath the chairs, but more typically on the table itself. The table, of course, would rock and move. For a while, we would have a question and answer session. This was a couple of years ago. We had a question and answer session for several months where the table would move to answer yes to a question and would stay still to represent no. So we were able to get information from the other side just because we decided to ask some questions. But yeah, that was the general phenomena. Was a lot of table movement, tapping, rapping, movement of the table. There have been some, and it's on video on Craig's site. I don't know if the general public could see it, but of the table violently moving and like moving across the room. And this has happened several times where the table has been picked up, rocked back and forth so violently that it makes its way across the room to the other side of the room. So
nobody's doing anything to it. It's just moving on its own.
Oh, yeah. You can see it in the video where our hands are lightly on it. In fact, in the video, that's when I came out of the cabinet. I was out of the cabinet for one of them, and they were using the energy that was in the room. And I lifted my hands off the table, and the table's just rocking itself. It's pretty dramatic, very, very dramatic.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
It's how many people are in your circle now?
Well, now we have 6. So we have Vicky, Craig, Bree, who's our newest member. And she is and she just turned 30. Sally, who's been with us for quite a while, and Alex, my son. Alex is emerged in the circle as quite the amazing trance medium. He is, it happened pretty dramatically, and they do most of their work in terms of communication now through Alex. I'll be in the cabinet, but Alex will be, when I come out of the cabinet, Alex will then, he'll be in a trance and they will speak through Alex. And Alex is a very unassuming 22-year-old kid. I mean, he's a very analytical guy. He is an engineer. He's studying to be an engineer. He is, of course, growing up, I introduced him to a lot of the sort of spiritualist ideas and whatnot. But the phenomena is very self-evident around him. And I could talk quite a while about Alex. And but
you must be so proud of him.
I am. I'm amazingly proud of him. It really came out of nowhere, and his mediumship is growing by leaps and bounds. He has become sort of a center focus for the team by which they use the energy of the room, and they move it through him. Where they used to move it through the table, they use Alex as a means to move the energy around the room to kind of help create the constructs, the energy constructs that are needed to carry out the work. Because apparently there's a lot of work that's done, and as we would imagine, on the other side to help carry out the phenomena in the room. And he helps participate in that. And